Hello, and welcome to Speedforce, the Flash podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Hernandez.
And I'm your other host, Phil Maynard. We're going to be talking about the mid-season finale this week, The Man in the Yellow Suit, which the title of the episode gave away what was going to happen in this episode.
It really surprised me. I didn't know who the man in the yellow suit would be at all.
Well, the guy matched my shirt.
I know.
And the other guy matched your shirt.
I can't wait to see this new hero, this new villain, what they call him, Psycho Speedster? Or...
Yeah, the Psycho... the Psycho Speedster. I think
Yeah.
that's what Cisco calls him at one point. No, that's not a name. I'm just eating my candy cane.
Or opposite Flash. Those are the only two names they gave.
Yeah, and he said it as in like, is that a good name? Is that a good? And she's like, no. Which in the commercial, for the spoiler alert, everyone. Obviously we do this every time, but yeah, for when it comes back, Cisco actually says. He actually calls him the Reverse Flash, and Caitlin's like, not your best, and Wells is just like, I kind of like it. So
this is like Cisco's worst day of naming. He doesn't even get to name Firestorm. He names himself.
I know, right?
He's like, Firestorm.
He's like, oh, I was gonna name him. Damn.
Didn't even get a chance to name him. Like, he just straight looked at Cisco when he said it too. He's like, Firestorm.
Oh my god. Where are we? Okay, so we're gonna be starting a new thing where I'm not gonna beg for emails because that's not working.
I mean, everyone posts on the Facebook page anyways, probably because it's 1,000 times more convenient.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna start reading off the Facebook page.
Yeah, and who's the person we're gonna read off of the Facebook page this week?
Was Hannon Mel.
Sup, Mel. So he posted on the page, just caught the winter finale of The Flash. It's an awesome episode, but did anybody else think that the episode was too closely resembled to the winter finale of season 1 of Arrow, with the hero getting beat up by a shadow character and Philin revealing himself to be the enemy? Whether you believe that Harrison Wells was Zoom or not, it was an awesome episode. I think I love about some of the genre shows like Arrow, Smallville, and The Flash is that they resemble the mythologies so much that you can recognize them, yet they stray away from the stories we all know enough so that nobody knows what to expect, and I like being surprised. Which is why I don't think that Wells is Reverse Flash. I don't think he is at all.
I mean, they really hit heavily that he is, but they could take a turn.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's too obvious.
And in your regards, Mel, for that it's similar to the ending. Well,
I agree 100%.
Well, recently, actually, in my film history class, we talked about this, and it's called The Hero's Journey, and it started with Star Wars, where you're introduced into the ordinary world, which would be, Barry Allen's regular day, and then he gets the abilities, the extraordinary happens, and then they deny their call to action, and then they resume it, and then they get to a point where they think everything's good, but then everything goes downhill. They feel like they're not the hero they were, and they have to rise up to that. And I think that's what this episode was.
Yeah, it was the whole... Yeah, and he didn't even beat the Reverse Flash. He got away.
I like how he got schooled, because it leaves room for him to improve.
Yeah, because we know he isn't the best yet.
Nah.
Like, if he was at top Flash, he'd be moving at an attosecond, and it'd just be insane. But I've been reading the...
Every time I don't know why this keeps coming to my mind, but when he talks about, does he use the bathroom quickly? Like, that last episode, it makes me think all the time. Like, how does he do that?
I was reading Blackest Night, the comic book series that I was telling you about earlier. It's so good. There's a line in it where only, there's 3 people left together right now, and it's Flash, Mira, who's Aquaman's wife, and the Atom, and they're all together. And Flash, and they're like, we're all fish out of water pretty much, except you. And he's like, and Flash is like, you think I'm not in my element? I'm always irritated. You know how irritating it is right now just to slow down and have this conversation? I like talking to Bart and Wally. They don't even have to slow down. We talk at like that.
That sounds like chipmunks talking.
Yeah,
like,
well, I don't even think it would register us hearing it because of how fast they talk.
We hear them sing the Christmas song.
No, but we're going to talk about some news real quick. Mark Hamill, for any of those who don't know who that is, he's that guy, right?
Mark Hamill. Yep.
Yeah, and he's that guy and that guy. I have a bunch of Star Wars posters in my room, just letting you know the nerd doesn't stop at Flash.
No, not at all.
So Mark Hamill used to be the trickster on the original Flash series with John Wesley Shipp back in the 1990s.
Very interesting
Costume.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything about that show is fairly interesting. It reminds me like a little bit of the old Batman series, a tiny bit.
Oh, the 1966?
Yeah.
I have it. I'm going to watch it soon.
Well, it's just because their costumes are so unrealistic.
Yeah.
It's just like,
and this show is so much better with the costumes.
The trickster looks like he just went to the bargain bin and just like, oh, some of these are ripped up. I'm just going to sew them together and make an outfit.
Yeah. So, big news. He's actually going to be coming back to do the show again.
Just like what was it? The female
Tina
doctor,
McGee?
Tina McGee. Yeah.
Yeah. But Mark Hamill's going to be coming back to play the trickster again. I wonder how they're going to go with an old supervillain. I'm not saying that Mark Hamill's old or anything. I'm just saying he wasn't like 13 when he made Star Wars in 1977.
Yeah, he's pretty old now. I mean, they're bringing back a lot of old actors and a lot of stuff now to keep it original. I mean, even the Terminator's doing that with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was a governor, like for all of you who don't live in California, he was our governor. Like,
for some reason, we elected him. Why did that happen?
I thought that he would stop Skynet, so
well,
I was happy.
That did not work.
No,
it still happened.
It's still happening.
Oh my gosh,
Mark Hamill.
I just realized Matt Parantha, he commented on the Facebook page saying that he hopes that now that we have him back, now that we have Mark Hamill back as Trickster, he wants Alec Desert come back as Julio Mendez. He was Barry's best friend in the lab.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Eric
that.
and I.
Oh, that was
loved
the guy
him.
from Becker, the blind guy from Becker.
Yes,
I love that guy. He's just so funny. Like, he is naturally just funny. I don't think he tries to be.
Yeah, and I hope he comes back too because I love that character.
Yeah, I remember him from Becker. That's where when I saw him on there, I was like, oh, that's the blind guy. I know him. But he's not blind in this show.
No, I don't think he would be. Then it would be really, really awkward.
That'd be tight though.
He's like, wait, Barry and the Flash are the same person, but they sound so different.
Yeah, honestly,
they're in the same room with me right now.
A blind guy can discover any superhero secret identity if he knows the real person and then hears the hero talk.
Oh, I know, right?
There would be no like, oh, you're wearing a costume?
Barry can translate, can vibrate his vocal cords to talk though.
I wonder if that itches his throat.
Huh?
Imagine that would itch my throat a lot.
I feel it would like tickle it a little bit.
I cannot move my vocal cords besides talking.
I know.
Like, no, can't do it.
No.
One day.
Well, as you all have noticed within the last 8 minutes of this podcast, the quality's a lot better because I got a new mic on Black Friday so that we all have a better recording system so that our terrible voices aren't echoing into your ears at terrible quality. Now just our terrible voices are echoing into your ears on great quality.
We're still working with the audio, like sound, the loudness of it. So
yeah,
if you guys have any suggestions, say, hey, it's a little quiet or it's a little too loud, please say something.
Well,
so we can fix it.
I'll be fixing up the decibel system so it comes up louder for them.
The decibel system.
But
yeah, and just so you know, it's like the quality's, we're working on it.
Yeah, it'll get
Phil's
better.
working on it. I'm just the guy who gets it at his house and holds on to it for a week.
Yeah, he comes over, eats food, and then records a podcast, and then leaves. He doesn't even play Xbox anymore.
Nah. Those controllers feel weird after you play the Xbox One for a while. They feel really weird after that.
Okay.
It's like...
I gotta come over and play it.
It's like playing the original Xbox. If you sat down and played the first Xbox...
I never played the original.
If you hold those controllers, they feel big and bulky. And then they made them small, and then they made them... They're kind of slightly bigger now. Sort of bigger.
I was all Nintendo my entire life and then moved to Xbox 360.
Nice.
So I never noticed anything else. So we're going to get on with the podcast and get out of video game time, which, by the way, pre-order Arkham Knight. It's really good. I can't wait to get it. If you get it from GameStop, you get Red Hood, and everyone knows I love Red Hood.
Yeah, Phil's getting the game before he gets the console.
I don't even have the console yet, and I'm already getting this game. So that's my day.
All right, now we're finally actually going to start the episode.
I'm pressing play now.
The man in the yellow suit.
So we're getting our subtitles up of the normal intro
So if this is the mid-season finale, does that mean they're going to be taking a break now, huh?
Yeah, it's gonna be coming back January 20th.
I feel that's lazy. Like they make the whole season, but they're like, nah.
No, actually, they took a break for a while because they knew they were gonna have this, but they went back to filming already.
Oh, I see. So they're filming right now.
But someone was saying someone was saying that with the lightning, because we've already discussed that Barry was probably the other person in that.
I wasn't going by lightning. I was going by the fact that the color red was there.
Yeah.
I was like, that's yellow and that's red.
Which we then learn the red lightning comes off of Reverse Flash and the yellow lightning comes off of regular
Barry.
Flash. Yeah, so it's a little backwards a little bit. See, if you notice that right there. I believe that the reason his mom died is the Barry that came back to fight Reverse Flash grabbed young Barry and carried him to safety, and while he was carried to safety, Nora was stabbed. Does that make the most sense?
I'm still in the debate of what completely happened, because it's still up there, like, maybe he wasn't even aware that that was his mom. Like, if he would stop running.
Yeah.
He would, oh, Mom, like, you're not dead? Like, cool, I'm gonna, like, just save you now.
Like
forget about Reverse Flash.
He'd freak out just... Sorry.
Yeah, forget about Zoom. I'm going to save my mom.
Yeah. He'd freak out like he did in Flashpoint, which Flashpoint seems like what they're headed towards.
I really like Flashpoint.
Highly. Oh, great story. Amazing story.
So we see Barry decorate a Christmas tree just to undecorate it to prove a point.
Yeah, and Joe is just like, I love that. I don't want any red-suited person in here other than Santa. Because for those of you who don't get the joke, Barry wears a red suit.
And so does Santa Claus.
Yes. Oh, Eric would have a field day right now with his whole red game.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. Well, this is like, it's Christmas too. Like,
yeah.
That's what they're going at.
Yeah.
So word to the wise, none of them are Jewish.
Well, we know that Felicity is.
Yeah, we know she is. But yep, now we know the people who celebrate Christmas in the show and the people who celebrate Hanukkah.
Yeah, Felicity.
They're just Felicity.
Just Felicity. But we love Felicity.
Yeah, I think it's cool that I talked about it last podcast, how it's cool how important she is in both these shows.
Yeah, like, and I like how they have diversity with
honestly
how everyone's Christianity or all that, and she has Jewish. I like that they have diversity in the show.
I think that Felicity is more of an important character in the Flash than Oliver Queen. Like, she has been in the both shows so much. It's like she can just switch shows at any time, and it's totally like, I like it. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
So we're talking over right now how Iris and Barry are exchanging gifts, and Barry got Iris her mother's wedding band.
Well, it's a remake of it.
Yeah,
she lost it.
She lost it when they went to the zoo in 5th grade, and he remembers that no normal guy would probably remember that sort of thing. And,
yeah.
But he has a eidetic memory, pretty much.
He calls it a steel trap.
Once something goes in, it can't get out. Yeah. So he relives that scene of his mom dying every day. That sucks.
So I'm about to play a new game. He just got a microscope. I'm waiting for the first episode he uses it.
Yeah.
I'm going to look for it now in every episode. When's Barry going to use that gift?
I think it might be the next episode, like when they come back, return. So that they just...
Like the plant and arrow.
It's still been important. It was just featured a lot in the crossover episode.
I'm wondering if we should just name the plant at this point and give it its own character development here. Oh, so Eddie comes in, kind of breaks the mood for Barry.
Because Barry was having a good moment, and then obviously the character we don't like comes in. Well, I'm not a big fan of Eddie. So we see Flash run across the city like he normally does.
He gives everyone gifts. You know.
And I like how Wells puts it, you are a gift. Which is kind of weird if you think about it. A person being a gift, that's a little awkward.
Yeah. Well, he sees Barry as his best work, which I don't know where Wells is. He's a good guy. He's a bad guy.
I still am not sure on him. I don't think he is who we think he is.
He's clearly related to Zoom in some crazy strong way, but we're not sure if he really is Zoom or if he's behind the curtain of it. But then he knows about the future too, which is confusing. Is he from the future, or can he see into it?
That's why I believe... I'll get into that later. I hate how they do that. Cisco, how's your Christmas? Or what are you gonna do for Christmas? And then they just cut away. What about the people that wanted to know what Cisco was gonna do for Christmas?
I was hoping he'd go into a crazy story.
He's probably gonna cure cancer on Christmas Day.
Yep.
That was what you were saying, right?
Yeah, and you name it something. You named the cure something weird too, like.
Oh, I'm gonna cure this incurable disease.
I'm not even gonna try
Cisco.
to nickname that because I have a feeling I'm gonna mess it up real bad. I'm not Cisco. I can't name people. Cisco gets a lot of help from like writers.
Yeah.
And directors.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Writer, direct. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, writer, director here are, well, if I'm hosting it, then you're the co-host, so our co-host. No.
Oh, thanks, man.
I read the opening line.
I know, and I did read I'm the other host. So, I wrote it in the way that, yeah.
For the record, Phil is like literally the soul behind this entire podcast. I'm just the guest that shows up and helps him. With my voice.
Yes. Seriously, if I ever do an audiobook for my book, I want you to be the person that does it. Because everyone would want to buy that.
I will. Hopefully you put,
Oh, wait, real quick. Eddie
yeah.
just gave a key to Iris. Big
Cheap
thing.
gift.
We really messed that up. We're sorry.
Oh, yeah. All right, so he gives the key to Iris saying, hey, you can come live with us now. Live with me now. That's the gift for your Christmas.
So, Barry bought her what? Like,
Boyfriend just says, you can now come in my house without me having to get up and open the door.
Here's here's a $3 key.
So, this is the first time we see Caitlin and, what's her husband's name again?
Ronnie.
Ronnie. I don't know why I want to call him I was going to call him Hillman for something.
Dude, his real name is it's hard to name him because his real name is Robbie, but his character name is Ronnie.
Oh, I see. Well, he kind of like sneaks up on her and then just for some reason displays his ability.
Which we forget to mention that he looks really creepy in the parking lot and she just follows him blindly.
See, now, you were telling me that he's a combination of two different people?
Yes, Professor Stein and Ronnie Raymond.
See, so right there when he goes up behind Caitlin, I believe that's Ronnie. And then he walks away
because Professor Stein.
Yeah.
The way it is the body is Ronnie Raymond, who is Firestorm. And the mind behind it, like, in the comics they write it that it's his head, that it's Ronnie's head, and then right here in like a holographic sense that only he can feel is Professor Stein talking to him.
He's got a lot of voices in his head.
Yeah, he's got one. Unless you count his own.
I don't know how. It's crazy how that happened.
So we have Professor Zoom or Reverse Flash run into this science lab, snap 2 security guards' necks, and then run away. Which, if he's faster than the Flash, he could have vibrated through that wall.
You know, I was thinking right now, because if Wells is Zoom, it does make sense now why he's being in the wheelchair.
Why?
Well, I mean, it completely takes him off the radar of him
True.
being Zoom. I mean, I wouldn't even, if I was Barry and I assumed that he was crippled and he couldn't walk, he's not Zoom. He can't run super fast.
And they've thrown him out of the chair multiple times, so...
And he didn't get up, he doesn't move his leg, except that one time I did catch it.
Yeah, you caught it.
It was just a directing problem. Like, he just slightly moved his leg.
So now Barry and Joe are at the science lab and they're talking to the main scientist who says the title of the episode.
The man in the yellow suit.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So it's been 5 weeks now.
Joe's known that
Zoom.
Yeah. It's hard because they call him Reverse Flash in the show for now. I don't know when they're going to call him Professor Zoom. Or if they're going to go by that Hunter Zolomon is Reverse Flash while Eobard is Reverse Professor.
I always see him as Zoom just because if they
what
were...
just happened?
I don't know, the episode closed down.
Wait, guys, sorry, just a sec. It closed off for a second.
That was
okay,
weird.
We're back.
But I always saw Zoom as his real name because every other name seems like
Cisco
a
just
ripoff.
named the guy.
Oh, what do you call him?
Psycho Speedster,
yes.
and then Ada Candy Cane. Which, if you notice, his shirt is awesome. It's like the Milky Way galaxy with a Google point, like a destination point in one spot for like where Earth is.
That's Earth.
Yeah, that's actually pretty funny.
That's a cool shirt.
I never saw that. Christina McGee goes by Tina McGee, I guess. Was the original actress and character, I believe.
Was that her?
Huh?
In the image Well, when they showed it on the computer, no, the old version of her.
Oh, I didn't see it. I missed it.
Ooh,
and I can't rewind.
Dude, dang.
I can't, dude.
All right,
Sorry.
so if you look at the computer when they're showing her, they literally show her how she looked in the original Flash show in the background. There was the recent image, and then the web page behind that was the old image of her. That was cool. It was in black and white, too.
Oh, nice.
It was in black. It looked old. Like I was like, yeah.
Like she was standing next to chemicals or something?
She looks exactly as she did in the old Flash show.
That was the picture that I showed you earlier then, so that actually was the photo. Nice.
That's cool. We caught something right now in the podcast. Yeah, you could probably see it from here. How there's two web pages open.
It's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, you can't see the image. Oh,
so
now we're out of the
cut
room.
over to Jitters now.
Jitters. A great place that... Why would you call a coffee place Jitters? That sounds wrong. Like, it sounds like I wouldn't want coffee from that place because I would have the jitters.
Well, that's what coffee does.
It makes you shake and... No,
No, but, so Caitlin goes to Iris looking for, advice on, who the Burning Man is. She calls him the Burning Man? That is a really terrible name. She needs Cisco as a best friend.
If someone came up to me and said, I'm looking for Burning Man, I would totally get the wrong impression. Like, I would not think you're talking about a man who sets himself on fire, but...
You'd be thinking, like, they're looking for a back alleyway with some shady dude.
No, I'm thinking they're going to the crazy convention where everyone does, like, hecka drugs and
That's
lights this dude
about.
on fire. Burning Man. I'll be like, oh yeah, you just go that way. Like
you head out to Vegas and then you'll get there.
Taste these and you'll see him. You'll be like, oh god.
Oh, okay.
But basically, she just asks Iris, you know, or no, Iris asked her. Wait, who asked who again?
Caitlin asked Iris.
Yeah, they both had stuff to talk about, and they just said, you know, talk to Barry and.
Oh yeah, has Barry said anything? He seems like he's hiding something and.
And
Obviously,
like,
he's not.
Caitlin's face at that moment looks like she's trying to swear. What secret is she talking about?
Yeah, he has like 7.
So many.
Like Thea asking, someone's hiding a secret from me. Who's hiding a secret from you, Thea? Everyone's hiding a secret from you. No one can trust. I'm talking first and second season Thea, not now Thea. Now Thea, she has her own secrets. But
now Thea's a lot better. I like that Thea a lot. I like recent Thea than all the previous versions of Thea. Just because she could fight and she's not stupid. Like, she acted dumb before and...
So we got Barry and Wells talking to McGee right now. Which, I like that name, so I'm just going to call it McGee right now.
McGee.
I love that name.
So if Wells is... was it... Oh, man, I'm trying to remember. Oh, why can't I remember?
Reverse or Professor?
No. I was going to say, Okay, Wells is the wheelman. So... Barry's the leg man? Wheels and the leg man, that's what I'm thinking about. Wheels and the leg man from American Dad?
I never saw
No,
that.
what?
I don't watch that show, dude. Sorry. So.
Oh, man.
I just disappointed my best friend.
I'm sorry.
No, see his shirt?
Oh, yeah, I did see it.
Isn't that hilarious?
He's cool shirts.
Yeah. Earlier, I think it's later, he's wearing a Big Bang Theory shirt.
Bazanga?
No, he wore that in the first episode, but no, he's wearing a shirt that says, that has all the different rock paper scissors lizard Spock on the shirt, which I guess is so that our viewers don't bite my head off on this. It's not actually from Big Bang Theory. Someone else made it up and then they caught it from that.
Oh.
And then Big Bang Theory made it famous.
Yeah, Bazanga. I always thought that was a candy.
No, that's Bazooka.
Bazooka. Yeah, that's it.
That's Bazooka Gun, bro. So. We're getting a flashback now in Flash, which we call flashbacks.
A flashback.
No, because they call the Arrow flashbacks, they call them Arrowbacks or whatever. So this is just the flashback. So
confusing terminology.
So we're
just him as a kid talking to his mom. His mom has a very, very I don't know.
So we know it's before she's dead, probably.
Have you noticed if anybody in every superhero story ever told, if it's a parent or someone they look up to, the last words they say to them are always super sincere and wise and you can interpret them in any kind of way you want.
Yeah.
And then they disappear and it's oh, dang, that's what's happening right now.
Or Robert Queen before he killed himself, he's just survive.
Yeah, he gives Barry advice that he can interpret, not Barry, he gave Oliver at that time advice he could just interpret any way he wants. But he did it a good way, and so does Barry in this, where he's you're not alone. You're not afraid of the dark. You're afraid to be alone in the dark. But you're never really alone, so don't be afraid.
Yeah. So, in translation, it's just yeah, you can fight these people on your own in the future. But, You got a psychotic killer soon gonna be.
Oh, this trips me out. I wanted you to notice this. You didn't notice this. The water is rising up when he wakes up, like the particle accelerator had just been activated.
Yeah, but we know it's sort of in the sense of that
they're running in the room beneath them. But that's cool. Like, I was just like, I saw that and I was like, that's weird. Oh, Iris wakes him up from his daydream.
Yeah, and I guess she called his name like, oh, she didn't even say how many times. That's sad.
Yeah. So they're just having a conversation. She wasn't aware that Barry had this whole board set up with his mother's murder.
Well, she did know, but she hasn't. She thought it like was gone.
No, it's just Barry just can flip the board. It's a magic trick. You see, my mother's death, and then boom, my work. Like,
no, on the other side is a map of Central City.
Oh, that's good for him to know. I mean, one wrong turn, he hits a building at like 600 miles an hour.
Yeah, then he runs up it, then runs down the other side. Not a big deal for him.
Like, they should have an episode Flash's bad day, and he just like he's running into stuff like just common problems you'd have with super speed. Like,
my old joke before I found out that he could go through things. My old joke was that Flash's only weakness was solid objects, and then I realized no, that isn't even his weakness. He can go through that. He has no weakness.
I bet you Flash spends a lot on Nikes. Like, a lot. When he's just not in the costume and he has to run real fast, I bet you he wears out his shoes, like, super quick.
I bet he just wears, like, Toms, because they're, like, so cheap that he could just get like 100 pair.
What about those ones with the individual toes? The
Vibrams?
Yeah, I bet you has those.
I have a pair of those. They're good for hiking.
Oh, so we're talking over a scene that isn't, I don't know.
It seems important.
Yeah, not really. She's just telling him, I'm going to go live with Eddie, and Barry's like, oh, in his head, I don't like that at all, but his voice says, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, have fun. And then in his mind, he's just like, well, looks like I need to get hit by Rainbow Raider again to get rage, so I can go kill Eddie finally.
Yeah, it's like we've all been in that situation, you know. You like someone, but then they find someone else, and you're just like, oh.
Well, that's normal.
Yeah. Anyone who likes superheroes like us, you get that one day time that happens. But Barry...
Ooh, so Barry goes to his window and sees Zoom. It's just easier to call him that. He sees Zoom out the window on another roof and chases after him and somehow gets his jacket on while he's running. Have you tried walking out of a place and putting on your jacket? He's running at like super speed.
There is one thing that they ignore in this, probably just for the scene's sake, but... Barry's running after him with everything he's got, and he's in his average clothes.
Yeah.
So, in all honesty, his shoes should melt, his clothes should be on fire.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I didn't even catch that before.
If he's chasing the man in the yellow suit, he is hauling. Like,
yeah, obviously.
He's going as fast as he can go, and he's still not catching up.
But his clothes aren't burning up. Yeah,
his clothes aren't burning up, and he's running through the whole city. Different.
I think his clothes are starting to like realize that this just happens.
His Levi's that he bought, just like, yeah, we figured it out.
Because it's starting to not happen. Like it did it to Felicity's dress, but that's it.
Yeah, well, I mean, clothes can adjust. I mean, clothes cannot just adjust to super speed.
I don't know.
But here's where we really see the lightning. Like
it's like it clashed right there for a second, but we didn't get to see him swirl around like they do in his living room.
In Flash's head right now as he's getting beat up. Man, why is Oliver Queen not here to help me out? Like,
what? We talked about this earlier.
He could totally help out.
No, he can't.
He could totally help out.
Dude, he's Oliver. That arrow would take approximately at least 2 seconds to reach from one end of the football stadium to the other. Maybe if he shoots at a very high rate. They're running faster than that. They can lap that arrow like 100 times before it even gets there.
I think also I know why that Zoom hasn't killed Barry.
Why?
Because
we know he's not going to kill him.
Right now he says it's your destiny to lose to me, and it's also your death. You know, your mother's death was like, I forgot what he said right here. He says it right now. It's your destiny to lose to me, Flash, just as it was your mother's destiny to die that night. So he can't. If he's doing time travel, he knows who he can and cannot kill for things to happen.
Sort of like my favorite, I think it's Ray Bradbury's
so if Barry
author.
is there at that night trying to stop Zoom from killing his mom, then that means he has to be there, and Zoom knows it.
Yeah.
It might all the way relate to how Zoom gets his abilities or how everything plays out. That's for probably next season's half, probably explain why he doesn't kill Barry.
Well, in the comics, whether it was Hunter or Eobard, they just were fascinated by the Flash, and they didn't want to kill him because they were so fascinated by him.
I mean, he is a scientific marvel.
Yeah. I'm trying to say this. It's sort of like the Joker. How the Joker will never kill Batman because the Batman will never kill the Joker.
I mean, he points it out in a lot of. I watched the animated series when I was a kid, and he says the old one, the 1990s, like the really good, like I love that one. This is like
the
best,
Batman animated series,
best one. And he says he tells. I always remember this because he tells Batman, he's like, "What would you do? You wouldn't be Batman without me." But I wouldn't be the Joker without you. Like, we can't live without each other. We need each other.
We'll do
survive.
this tango for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
That's a line from the Dark Knight.
Yeah, and he says it again. Yeah, they repeat that line a lot in Batman series, and it's like,
because that's where my theory is in my other book that I wrote with Cudgel. That was once the hero emerged, then all these villains emerged, because without the hero to raise up the stakes, then the criminals had to start working harder to do what they want to do, and
there has to be a force for good to create a force for evil.
Yes.
Makes me wonder about the police. If there was no police, no. All right, if there was no police, there would be no criminals because everyone would be a criminal. Exactly. So that's how that works out.
That'd be called profession.
Yeah, that would be Darwin's theory there. Survival of the fittest. Like,
have you heard of the movie The Purge?
The Purge, yeah, it would be The Purge all the time. Like.
So Eddie's getting angry at Joe because Joe's hiding the secret right now of how the Flash is involved in a case, and Eddie wants to kill the Flash or take out the Flash.
Yeah, I'd be mad too if I were Eddie. I mean, to him, he doesn't know who the Flash is, and the only time he met the Flash was when he pulled him out of his moving car and beat the crud out of him. And then
exactly.
Like, I would hate the Flash if I was Eddie. I'd be like, this dude's a jerk.
Yeah, I did that. I did that in my book too, like about a year or two ago.
Oh, here's the best moment here where a villain names himself. Or will Firestorm be a villain in this? Shirt?
No, Firestorm's actually a good guy.
Because I mean, he helps Barry out, but
he's JSA, dude.
He's what?
He's JSA, Justice League.
Oh, Justice League. All right. Because
JLA. Sorry.
I've never seen his origin story before, so it's kind of cool to see it. He's basically
this isn't his normal. This isn't his normal origin story.
Yeah.
They're going with creative license for the show.
I see. I like his story though. It's cool. It took him a while.
Is that even the same clothes that he was wearing when he went down to the particle accelerator? Because it doesn't look like it.
He probably changes.
But it looks like what he's had since we found him under the highway the other episode.
He's just a bum. Like,
truthfully, yeah.
He's a bum with superpowers, and he has 2 brains, and he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
It'd be so hard.
He says, "I'm not Ronnie. I told you that." Could that be Stein?
Yeah, now it's Stein talking. And he's like,
people are saying that it's either that Stein's talking or that he's just having
memory loss.
Yeah, sense of the trauma of what he went through.
Yeah, because a lot of trauma victims like that, they would not remember some either remember every detail and relive it every day, or they'll forget like certain aspects of it. So he might have a mental block.
So Cisco's kind of like a little like on edge right now because he's just like, when he's working in the lab, he's just like, I just saw some things and some stuff. I don't really want to talk about it.
Yeah, it's like he just saw someone he knew for a fact was not dead, but didn't remember who he was, and then combusted into flames and was not hurt.
Yeah.
And named himself, which totally probably took from his ego.
We need to go into the theory of how they're talking about how earlier she's like, Ronnie's alive, and he's like, no, he's not. He died in there. How many people have died due to the particle accelerator and came back?
I don't think anyone died from the particle accelerator.
Exactly. That's what they're saying. Wells named off all the people that died.
They became superheroes or villains.
Yes.
Like they're not dead. No one died from this accident except that plane. Wait, no.
No, the person in the plane came back.
Yeah,
Villain,
super
James
villain.
Martin.
Two people did die because of it. The friends of the dude with electricity.
No. Again, they were killed because they were trying to bring him back to life.
As a result of the particle accelerator.
Yes, but still, that doesn't fully count because the particle accelerator did not kill them.
It's like I'm grasping at straws here to see who died.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only 2 people I could think who actually died.
So we have Caitlin crying, which is...
Well, this is a cool moment in their, like, love triangle I've been talking about, where Cisco is potentially the 3rd person in the triangle.
I don't feel that he would be.
Look at...
He's not. He's more so a really good friend. I see that way more. I'm agreeing with you on the whole that she and Barry have this thing going. But I don't see Cisco being a part of it at all.
I mean, they might take him out just simply because her old, basically fling is back, like her husband, but
fiancé,
sort of not
but yeah.
the fiance. Yeah, it's like he's back, but he's not back because he's out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's gonna be a lot of stuff with Caitlyn, I bet, in the future.
And she's saying right here how she would have given up anything for one more minute with Ronnie, and now she wishes she never even got that minute.
Wishes he was dead. They died that night.
Yeah, which is a little like dark for her character that we've seen so far.
Well, it's like she wants to remember him as he was, not how he is now. Because how he is now isn't him, but he's still there, so it's like, that kind of sucks.
And there's nothing they can do about it, sort of thing.
I mean, Cisco, he might be, I might agree with you. Yeah, he's just being a really good friend. He's just holding Caitlyn when she's upset. But because
not everyone wants to be with Caitlyn.
There is definitely a thing between them and Barry, her and Barry, though.
Yeah.
There's super a thing there.
Yeah, that's obvious. That is 100% obvious. So we get
Merry Christmas, Slugger.
So Slugger goes to visit his dad in prison.
Slugger is a term, it could have easily been the name of this episode with how often they've said it.
They said it way more times than the man in the yellow suit.
The man in the yellow suit. Slugger. Like, that's what the episode should have been named.
Yes, that would have been great.
I like his dad. I love the facial expressions he gives when he just listens to him.
It's just like, you found him? It was lightning, dude. How'd you fight lightning?
Honestly, guys, if we weren't doing the podcast right now, like, we just watched this episode. I watched it for the first time about an hour ago. And I watched it with Phil, and all of us were dead silent during like this conversation between Barry and his dad, and the conversation between Barry and Iris later on.
Yeah, we usually before we actually record the podcast, we crack jokes and get our jokes ready and stuff for the podcast because most of the time Anthony's too busy to see it, and I have no life, so I've already seen it a couple times.
And the first time I watch anything, I throw out very inappropriate jokes I can't say on the podcast.
Yeah, I don't remember what you said, but yeah, but this right here. Is what he's about to say is Flashpoint. Is so Flashpoint. If your mom hadn't died and I didn't go to prison, you would never become a CSI. You would have never went into this. You would have never done that, and you would not have been the Flash.
Barry's mom had to die for him to go on the path to become the Flash.
Yes. So in the Flashpoint, once he saved his mom, he never became the Flash.
Exactly. It's like. That's why I was confused about the 1980s show Flash, because his mom was alive in that
90s, but yeah,
90s, yeah, it was 90s,
yeah,
not
but
80s.
That may have been.
It was weird. It was weird to see her alive.
We know this 100%. This is the Flashpoint storyline.
Yeah,
we know that they're doing that,
along with the mini 52s we have seen.
and don't forget the whole Crisis event that's coming up. Which I really I'm gonna read the Crisis series after I finish Blackest
Night. The Red Sky?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the Crisis the issues for the Crisis event didn't go 1, 2, 3, 4. It went 50, 49, 40.
So they counted
down.
Dang.
They counted down to the Crisis event.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and that's when Barry went into the Speedforce and died.
That's crazy. Spoiler. Barry might die.
Yeah, I don't think they do that on the show. But then again, he didn't even die when he went to the Speedforce.
I don't think the Flash could die.
So here we're getting that very heartfelt scene.
The biggest moment, actually, probably not in the Flash's experience, but Barry's. He tells Iris how he feels.
Yeah. So what do you think? Should he have told her first that I'm the Flash, or should he have told his feelings? Because he had two secrets.
He feelings first, because he'd look like a creeper if he told her he was the Flash.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh yeah, and by the way, I was trying to use the Flash to get with you.
No. I'm not saying that he says it right after one another.
Oh.
I'm saying.
No, first.
Would he have revealed first in story? Should he have revealed first that he was the Flash, or later in the story, where later in the story he reveals his love for her? Or
this is the better way to reveal it, because now she knows how he feels, and then later when she figures out he's the Flash, she's more inclined to
Then again, she stopped doing the blog. Remember, she
did.
She hates the Flash now.
She's mad about the Flash
because the Flash beat up her boyfriend.
or her. Oh no, yeah, her boyfriend. Earlier this episode, I keep thinking that they were going to get married because I saw the little case.
Yeah,
But no, it was a key. Like,
everyone was thinking due to the episode description.
Look at Iris though in this scene. Like
that is amazing acting.
Like she's just
a lot of people
crying.
say that she's a terrible actress and stuff. This is an amazing scene, I think. How she doesn't say a word in this scene. The only thing that she said in this scene was, "Oh, I love you too."
Like before Barry really starts explaining things.
And then after that, she doesn't say a single word. Everything else is just her expression.
Yeah, it's like me and Phil were talking. Like to all you people listening, me and Phil were talking about how this episode wasn't really about the Flash. It was about Barry.
Yeah, it was about Barry and Zoom.
And it took a real turn because I really thought this episode would be about the Flash because Zoom was involved. But it's Zoom and Barry. The only time he wears his costume is one time.
To fight Zoom.
And he still loses.
Yeah.
He still loses to Zoom.
Nerd.
Yeah. I would have laughed if Zoom looked at it and went, nerd. Just ran off.
See, this is why I want Aaron Paul to play Zoom in the movie version. So he could just knock him out and just do his normal, like, yeah. Wait, what's going? Oh, so they just caught Zoom now.
Yeah, Zoom got caught in a force field that they made just to capture him.
Yeah. And Wells is like, let's see what we caught. Let's see if it's a yellow bass.
So everyone who's watched this knows at the end with Zoom and the costume and Wells. I want to see how this plays out now knowing.
Yeah, I was watching it.
He's Wells.
About an hour ago, I was watching the scene just trying to figure out, what's going on? It's so hard to tell.
Is there anyone in the costume? Okay, there's someone in the costume.
We can 100% see that. And we see Wells is sitting right there. And we see Eddie is sitting right there. Or standing right there.
Because he ran into it, got caught, and then he's just holding still and vibrating there.
But we know that Wells was in the other room, too. When Zoom originally was caught. So he's not jumping back and forth like you were thinking.
It's like... like Phil had a good theory about how that Wells is past Wells, and the one in the wheelchair currently is
future Wells.
Or future Wells.
He jumped into a time vortex and
basically cloned himself.
Time traveled. I feel that the walking room, like he has time travel in there as well.
But it's weird. Like maybe he just makes the costume. Maybe there's a second person.
Yeah,
that would make a lot more sense than time traveling. I hope it is
because I don't want
doppelgangers.
I don't want Wells to be the villain because it would be too obvious. It would be way too obvious that he's Reverse Flash.
What if it's something even bigger than that? What if like the particle accelerator gave Wells an ability too, like the ability maybe it split him into two different people?
Well, we know Wells is from the future, first off, so we know he has that ability. So I doubt the particle accelerator gave him an ability other than how he can fake being in a wheelchair.
That's a crazy cool ability. Yeah. But look, right here, boom, Wells makes it in there, and it's like almost like a jump cut. Like there was no running; it was just he appeared in there.
Well, we saw Zoom grab him and throw him in, and he's just beating up Wells so bad right now. And if this is truthfully Wells doing this to Wells, you got to imagine this is a little irritating. Or
if you notice, Wells looks at the what's it called? The Techron?
The Techion.
Techion. He looks at it before Zoom even grabs it. He was looking at it and then Zoom grabs it.
Yeah, because he's kind of like, hey, don't forget to grab that, Wells.
I'm wondering if it's a second person.
Yeah.
It's not Eddie.
They got to be working together. But I know Wells is not. Okay, so right here, he comes over, doesn't kill Eddie, and throws Eddie out of the way before he can get shot with Joe's bullet.
He saves Eddie.
He saves Eddie and Joe. He doesn't kill either of them.
Which leads more to the time travel theory that he can't hurt people that he knows need to exist.
Ow. Yeah, he knows that these people need to be there for his future to happen.
I don't know how he keeps vibrating like that all the time. Like, even Barry can't do that all the time.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. He's so much faster than him.
He's more experienced with the powers,
too. He's had it for like 14 years.
Yeah, if...
At least.
If that... Well, yeah, it's hard.
If we're going into a time vortex, he's had it for 100,000 years.
So right here we get Firestorm.
So Firestorm just comes in, shoots Zoom, and just flies away or whatever.
Our race is not done yet. See you soon, Flash. And he runs off in a trail of red lightning.
Red lightning.
Yeah. And it's like during this fight, you see the red and yellow lightning, and so does Cisco.
So Caitlin now sees that Ronnie's a hero. Ronnie just came in and saved Flash.
But even Ronnie himself doesn't know why.
Yeah.
He just
says,
like,
don't
follow
look for
me.
me.
I love it. He flies out like a Human Torch. He is the Human Torch apparently. Like, he looks like him. Well,
he's nuclear, man.
He's just like flames out of his fist. I'm gonna fly. Like, I love that.
Eddie's questioning why was I spared and all the other cops killed? Well, here's your answer, Eddie. They had masks, so they could be reused on the set. That's the exact reason.
You cannot be replaced that easily. You are Iris's boyfriend.
It'd be hard to recast you.
But it's like, story-wise, it does make sense that he couldn't kill Eddie if Eddie was somehow related or necessary completely to the events that led to Zoom either getting his powers or Barry's mother dying, or
if Zoom is Eddie.
Yeah, in the future.
Because we're forgetting that too.
What if he's in the future?
Because in the future comes back is Eobard Thwain, which is what is Eddie Thwain. He actually is that name.
So it's
this
very
so
similar. Confusing right now.
Yeah, it's
but they did it on purpose.
What's that show, Lost, where no one understands what's going on?
I saw all of Lost. Like, it was horrible. They didn't even answer all the questions. But still, on this, they're doing this on purpose because they want fans to have a frenzy. So they're guaranteed high view counts for the opening of the mid-season, like when it starts up again. Because I'm definitely going to watch it because now I want to know.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, I'm going to look forward to it.
And we got about 11 more episodes till we find out exactly who is Reverse Flash. Because they're not going to do it till, like, the season finale.
I mean, this show is amazing, and I'd be really surprised if they didn't continue it for a second season.
Oh, we got 10 seasons of this, probably.
10 seasons?
Yeah.
That's a lot of seasons.
Yeah. I feel that's what's coming our way. Because
Arrow's on 3.
Yeah, it's going to get 5, I believe.
It's like...
Smallville had 10. Supernatural's on 10 or 11. I don't know. I don't watch that show. I want to, though.
Oh, so...
Doctor Who? How many seasons is that on, dude?
So, right now they're talking to Wells.
Did you notice that how Wells is like... Wells is just like, if you want to apologize that you didn't tell me about Ronnie being alive with fire.
Yeah.
Because in the sense of if he is Zoom just got really thrown off guard right there. He did not put into...
Here's a great...
Have you noticed that?
He's not there.
Who?
Wells. He's not there when Firestorm shows up. He's nowhere near there. He's laying in that force field beaten up.
Yeah.
So how does he know that even happened?
Exactly.
That's a good hint. He wasn't even near it.
Well, they could have said something. That's something that you might
no one knows Firestorm's identity except those two. And obviously if Wells seen him.
He did bring it up. They could have brought it up offset, which is very likely. Because knowing Cisco, tell me he wouldn't do a play-by-play of how that fight went down. He'd go to Wells. Wells, you missed it. Barry and the Flash guy were running around, and then Ronnie came in with all the fire, and Wells is just like, wait, Ronnie has fire? Ronnie's alive? Wait, where'd he get the fire? How? Like that sort of situation.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't tell Wells because Caitlin asked him not to.
True.
And then he even said, like, Wells kind of sprung it on him. They both looked surprised that he knew about it. I'm wondering if he slipped up and basically got knowledge that Zoom would have that he wouldn't.
True. You might be onto something there.
I didn't realize this till the second time around here, and I'm like, wait a minute, he wasn't even there.
Yeah.
He was all bloodied up and like laying on the ground.
So Barry just has to live with the fact that his mom's killer is loose and alive and pretty much able to do whatever he wants right now.
Yeah, the Man in the Yellow has tormented him his whole life, and now he's finally met the Man in the Yellow.
And all he's going to do for the rest of his life now is continue to torment him. Barry cannot catch a break.
No. And then right now we get, Joe just saying, you know, hey, I'm really happy you came to my house. I love you. You changed my life. You made my house real happy.
You filled it with this light. And I figure it's a blue light since he gets a blue lantern ring with hope.
The hope. That one's cool. Like, I watched the animated series with the one they made with Green Lantern, and the guys who could do Hope were hecka strong. And they were even near a Green Lantern. They became like alpha Green Lanterns. Like, they were crazy.
Yeah.
their eyes were like glowing green, and they're like, "Argh."
Who'd they have in that show? Saint Walker? Was he in here?
It was Hal Jordan was the...
No, but I'm talking about the Blue Lanterns.
The Blue Lantern, I have no idea. It was some alien dude.
White long thing.
Like long head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saint Walker.
That's Saint Walker?
Yeah, he's in the Blackest Night
He was
comic.
the first Blue Lantern in the show. Like, he created the Blue Lantern Corps.
Then that would make sense. Okay, so we have
an emotional moment between Joe and Barry. That happens
much.
every episode when they're together.
Yeah, we always get a emotional moment with them most of the time.
A slow, like, dad hug type of deal. And then now we're to the Christmas party. Things are brightening up.
Did you notice that he has his dad's
really,
goatee?
It's dark. Most of this episode has been filmed at night.
Yeah, which is very Arrow related. And the most recent Arrow episode was filmed mostly during the day.
That's interesting. Do you think they messed that up, or
no? I think that was intentional to show different elements to the series.
Maybe because this episode Barry doesn't win. Like, there's no real cut winner. He told Iris how he feels. He doesn't get Iris. He fights Zoom twice, loses twice. Ronnie's alive, but he doesn't know who he is. I mean, this is a sad episode.
Yeah, nothing good happened in this episode, truthfully.
And then we learned that Wells, the guy that you're supposed to, like, kind of trust, like Barry trust him, he could possibly be Zoom.
Yeah, there is literally no happiness in this episode.
And they set it up like it's happy.
It's all a disappointment.
They set everything up like it's happy, but really nothing. Oh, and then right here, the only thing we hear is kind of good is, like, Cisco knows now that both of them were there. Well, possibly Barry was there.
Yeah, I like that. I saw something weird tonight, and Joe's like, yeah, I saw it too. A lot of weird stuff happened tonight, Cisco. Shut up.
He's talking about how Barry shoots yellow lightning, but Zoom throws red lightning, and the day his mom died, both lightning was there, like yellow and red.
So there were two people in that house.
Yeah. And then that kind of leaves the hint that is that Barry who went back in time, or who is that? Who's the red Flash basically in the past?
It could be Jay Garrick. It could be Flash.
It'd be a real plot twist if it was Wally West. That'd be a really big... I'd be like, what?
It has to be Barry. If we're going Speedforce on... Or not Speedforce.
Yeah.
If we're going Flashpoint, it has to be Barry.
Yeah, I believe it's Barry. I strongly think it's Barry.
Yeah, it probably is.
Also, they put the star on the tree. Him and Iris have, like, kind of just an eye moment there. Where it's like...
And he's in his facial expression is, I'm sorry, sort of thing.
He's like, now you know I love you. So now you know I'm hurting every time I see you with him. Like...
Okay, so Wells goes into the walking room.
The walking room.
Yeah.
And he has the Flash ring, the one with the costume. But
yeah.
I was hoping he'd shoot the costume out.
Yeah, I think we were all hoping that too.
But he doesn't. It's just a Flash ring.
They might make it more practical in the show.
I always like that. It's like only a Flash can load the ring up because he can move that fast.
Yeah. So he goes over to a wall.
What's the suit look like in the dark like that, though?
Huh?
Look at it in the dark. It looks different dark than that.
No, it looks normal.
It looked camo. Like he camouflaged it black.
Yeah.
Because then he hit it and then it camo blacked yellow.
No. There was another... Okay, you know how in Arrow, how they have the mannequins?
Yeah.
That was just the mannequin.
Oh, it's camouflaged secret.
No, it didn't have the suit on it yet.
Oh, look at that.
He just put the suit on it.
Look at red.
That's the Tachyon particle.
The Tachyon's giving it a red.
Yeah.
Dang.
Deep distorted voice. I like that.
Deep distorted voice. So it's like it might be him. I mean, honestly, the suit looks like it fits him. It's the right size. It's totally like his.
I just don't want to believe it yet. I'm just having a hard time believing it.
There's gonna be some sort
I know
of crazy
he does
twist.
the voice. I know he can do the voice. It has to be some twist.
What if he has a split personality? What if sometimes he's good Wells, sometimes he's Zoom? Just how Ronnie is.
No, they wouldn't do that. It'd be more so Hunter Zolomon. Hunter Zolomon's like the best case right now.
Yeah, well, we'll figure this out for sure when it returns.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all we have.
Man,
right
the yellow
there.
suit. My butt is numb, man.
Let me see if there's any. Thanks. I loved hearing that.
All
Thank
the viewers.
you so much.
Well, you guys aren't viewers, you're listeners. So all the listeners had to know that. So we're just looking at the Facebook page right now, seeing
just to see if
new.
anyone said anything that we could talk about.
Yeah, if you end up posting while we're recording the show, we will actually see it as we're recording.
Yeah, no one ever posts something on here unless it's in the events.
Last thing post was on December 10th. It was like 3 days ago.
No, yesterday. Mel posted a picture of Ronnie as Firestorming Caitlyn as Killer Frost.
I still don't know how she's going to turn into Killer Frost.
I want it to be a slow process so that we
really see why.
Yeah, see how it happens. Because we saw a little bit evil in her last night.
I'm trying to think, isn't Killer Frost a Batman villain?
No, she's a DC villain.
She's just she could be used in any DC.
Yeah, I think she's a Flash villain. Because Flash has a lot of cold villains.
Yeah, because that's
cold's his weakness.
Yeah, that's what slows him down a lot.
Yeah.
We're just looking down the Facebook. Through I don't see nothing really new that we didn't see earlier.
Speed clones. Here it is. One sec. Someone posted this. I think it was Michael Husbands threw this on there. It was a post that someone else put. For those that have the questions about tonight's episode of The Flash, let's discuss the concept of speed clones. When an experienced speedster has the ability to run through time as well as space, he or she has the ability to pull themselves from points in time as speed clones. Let's say I was the Flash, but I wanted to keep my identity a secret. I would put on my costume, run 1 week into the future, pick up my future self, come back to the present, and have a press conference with my future self to completely erase the possibility of the public thinking we're the same person. Possible spoilers in the comments you've been one.
I only see one problem with that theory. How would you return the Barry Allen of the future? You can't have two Barry Allens. You have two Flashes.
You'd have to return them to the exact second you took them.
Yeah, you'd have to figure out the exact moment, like the second after you took them, you'd have to return them.
Yeah. Or it gets a little bit more creepier and you just kill that version.
Well, you can't. You can't return them. Because if there's two speedsters, you can't break the you can't go back and forth in time. That's what Flashpoint taught us.
Travel.
That's what Flashpoint taught us is he had to kill Zoom in order to return to the right what was it? Was it the right time or the right world? No, it was time because he had to save his mom. Well, he had to kill his mom, basically. Let his mom.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't kill her, like let her die.
He had to let her die,
but if there's two speedsters, you can't time travel. So that also raises the question if that is Barry in the past with his mom running in circles. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Like they could totally change that concept in this later.
So someone else posted, I think Alan Dukes. So who was the other Flash? Red Lightning fighting the Yellow Lightning when Barry was a kid. His dad. Who else could it be? I don't think his dad has super speed. I think
he'd be out of jail.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. It's so hard because they want it to be hard. This was done intentionally to make fans go like, "What?" Because fans are smart now. Like, we talk to each other, we communicate, we have large social circles, we have Comic-Con, everything. So they have to make it hard. Reverse Flash is Barry. Last episode, he had those red eyes and he was bad. Boom, Alan Dukes.
Thank you.
I really like that idea, but. How
didn't we talk about that in the last episode when Barry had the red eyes?
Yeah,
and everything?
He did look like.
So
him.
Yeah,
but they kind of look like almost the eyes were big, like they weren't regular eyes. They were like bug-looking eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just so inappropriate to show while we're doing the podcast. But I'm never going to tell you guys what happened. If you guys can guess what happened, I'll give you $5 of what Phil just showed me.
No, it's someone posted.
No, don't tell them now. I owe $5.
No, Andy Brooks posted. Barry needs to tell her how you feel, and then which I'm not kidding you. I was eating popcorn at the time when that scene happened, and I dropped my popcorn.
Like
I literally spilled my popcorn. I was just like, I spilled my popcorn. But this is a very important scene right here.
I mean, there was a lot of scenes in this episode, but that was probably the most well written and filmed. Yeah.
Like, well, that and the dad monologue.
Yeah, too.
Dad's conversation. That was a good one.
The show just nails it. Like you're just like, what? Yeah. No way. And I'm glad he didn't wait until like the next season or the third season to go, "Oh, Iris, I really like you, even though you're pregnant and you're married to Eddie now." Like he did it really quick where she could break the relationship if she truly wanted to be with Barry.
Yeah, everyone was just loving the episode this week.
This was a good episode. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I hate having to wait now for the next one.
Yeah, now we have to wait a couple weeks to January 20th, and then that'll be fun. So, I think it's you that starts it off this week, because I end it.
To join the discussion with everyone, go to facebook.com/groups/speedforcepodcast.
And since we don't get emails, so just post on the Facebook page.
For us here at Speedforce, I'm Anthony.
And I'm Phil. Ride the lightning, speedsters.
I'd never gone into my lab to experiment that night before lightning flashed around me and time changed speed. Now I gotta try to be so patient until calamity will strike, because when things change in an instant, it's almost fast enough for me. And I'll be there before you know it, I'll be gone before you see me. And do you think you can imagine anything so lonely? And I know you'd really like me, but I never stick around, 'cause time keeps dragging on and on and on and on and on.
And stay tuned for a week and a half for a special present for all of you. In a flash.